one who answers in Cassadaga. Cassadaga is a quiet place. Not the kind of quiet that feels empty, but the kind that feels occupied. Spanish moss hangs low from the trees, swaying even when there is no wind. The roads are narrow, the houses modest, and the air always feels slightly heavier than it should. People say it's because the town was built as a spiritualist community, a place where mediums and sensitives could live and work openly, a place where communication with the other side was not feared, but welcomed. And for the most part, it is. Visitors arrive every week, some curious, some grieving, some desperate enough to believe that if they listen closely enough, someone they loved might listen back. That's why Evan came to Cassadaga. He didn't believe in ghosts, didn't believe in spirits either. But belief has a way of bending when grief refuses to loosen its grip. Evan had lost his sister the year before, sudden, violent, and unresolved. There were questions no one could answer, words left unsaid, apologies that never found their way out of his chest. Cassadaga wasn't a belief. It was a last resort. The medium's house sat at the edge of town, half hidden behind overgrown hedges. Wind chimes clinked softly on the porch, though the air was still. Before inviting Evan inside, the woman paused. "Before we begin," she said quietly, "there are rules." Evan almost laughed. Almost. Don't ask about the future. Don't demand proof. And if something answers that I didn't call for, don't respond. Evan frowned. "What do you mean by that?" The woman held his gaze a moment longer than necessary. "Just listen," she said. "And when I tell you the session is over, leave." The room was dim. Candles flickered along the walls, their flames unnaturally steady. The air smelled faintly of smoke and old paper. The medium closed her eyes. Her breathing slowed. She spoke Evan's sister's name. At first, nothing happened. Then the temperature dropped. Not suddenly, but noticeably. Like a door had been opened somewhere far away. The candles dimmed. And then a voice spoke. It did not come from the medium. It came from behind Evan. Low, calm, familiar. Not his sister's. The medium's eyes snapped open. She didn't scream. She didn't flinch. She looked confused. "Who's there?" she whispered. The voice answered again. This time, it said Evan's name. The medium stood abruptly, knocking her chair backward. "No," she said. "You weren't invited." The candles went out all at once. Darkness filled the room. When the lights returned, the medium refused to continue. She walked Evan to the door without meeting his eyes. "You didn't come alone," she said. "I didn't bring anything with me," Evan replied. The woman shook her head. "That's not what I meant." That night, Evan slept at a nearby inn. At exactly 2:17 a.m., he woke to the sound of someone whispering. Not in his room, inside his head. It answered a question he had thought earlier that night, one he hadn't spoken aloud. The voice was patient, calm, helpful. Over the next few days, it continued, answering thoughts, finishing sentences, offering information Evan never asked for. When he left Cassadaga, the answers followed him. Weeks later, he stopped speaking entirely. Friends said he listened constantly, as though someone else was always talking, and sometimes answering. Cassadaga still welcomes visitors. Mediums still offer readings. But locals say if you feel like something is listening before you speak, you should leave. Because some things in Cassadaga don't wait to be invited. They're already answering.